Well, I'm ecstatic. I mean, you work all year and you hope to get to this point. You hope to be in a position where you see your name on that show, in a positive way. And so happy for the team. So happy for all these amazing people that stuck with us all year long and, believed and stayed positive when, things didn't look quite right. And then things started to look better, and all of a sudden we've got a team worthy of being in the big dance, And as far as the bracket goes, when you're going to be a 14 or a 15, and I should say even if you're going to be a 1 or a 2, we've been a 2 a few times, or a couple, we've been a 3, and I remember first round games that were we had to escape. Everybody's good this time of year. Everybody has won 20-ish games or more, and there's never an easy night. I don't care what the circumstance may be, and so certainly being on the road is different than home. But I'm excited for the challenge. That's all. That sums it up.
What about this particular team makes you dangerous to a higher team?
Well, we're built like a traditional team. We're built to start the year, an inexperienced Power 5, Power 4, whatever team. That's ultimately what we are. We didn't have the experience, and we didn't know who we were yet, and roles had to be defined, and people had to step up. And over the course of the year, that's happened. But when you look at the point guard play we have, the wing play, the size, and the overall athleticism, we look the part. And now we're starting to play like the part. And our preseason schedule really helped develop us. It showed us what's out there. It helped grow us quickly, and it also certainly humbled us because we didn't win it, and we won one of those games. But it taught us that we had a ways to go, but we showed flashes of good things during that stretch as well, which gave us hope. And now here we are with an opportunity to prove it again, against a really good team on their home floor. And so we're excited about that. But I think the makeup of this group, certainly the experience we have as coaches, the character of this team and the journey that they've been on and the way we've been playing lately gives us all some hope.
Playing as a 14 seed, do you feel like there's absolutely nothing to lose here?
Yes.
And everybody's going to play loose, and
Yes.
This is the least pressure you've ever had in an NCAA tournament.
It's the least pressure we've had since we went to Tennessee. That's how I remember it. We're a 6 seed playing at Tennessee where nobody had ever won, and we had nothing to lose in that game. Certainly playing a 1 seed, when we've gotten to that point, we had nothing to lose in those situations. I don't fully buy into that, because I think you always have something to lose, but for us just to be able to relax, take on the challenge, and just be at our absolute best, I think this team's ready for that, and I think that's what it's going to take. But we certainly are a 14. We're not the 3, so we're certainly not the favorite.
You talked a little bit about kind of how you guys were able to get challenged early in the season in the non-conference. How much do you need to fall back on that, rely on what you learned on this experience to get ready to face a bunch of teams that you've never faced before thus far this season?
Well, to reflect back on those games against the power teams that we played, I refer to them all the time. I'll say this is like playing Illinois. Think back how many times I've said UConn this year. You've heard it probably 20 yourself already, and so those games are great reminders of where we're headed, what it took, and the success we had during various points of those games. I can think of Illinois. The lesson was to stay in front of elite guards, and that mindset, we grew so much that week in that skill, and that carried over. You saw it against Portland the other day, an attacking team that couldn't get to our body, and we made them miss a ton of shots because of it. So all those lessons add up, and certainly the team's probably sick of it, but it's true. It's real. It's just reminders of the progress we've made and what's necessary going forward. And so, now it comes down to physicality, it comes down to dominant rebounding performances and discipline and laser focus for 40 minutes or more. And this team's given into all those things now and accomplishing those things because of those lessons.
You obviously didn't know early on who you guys were going to face, but do you know much about this North Carolina squad? Is there anything you can speak of, or just how much the next couple of days going to be just prepping, film studying, and getting ready to be?
The next couple of hours. This is, for a coach, this is like the most fun thing you get to do. It's like all the mystery, and then there it is, and it's like somebody just, shoots the starter's gun off, and it's like race, like here we go. And so I know that Deja Kelly's in Eugene from a year ago. I don't know much else other than that. I know they've obviously had some big wins. They beat Duke, they beat NC State. Those are big time W's, and Courtney's a great coach. And so I know it's going to be a true test.
Spoken a bit about the team within a team before the athletic stage.
I'm sorry.
You've spoken a bit this year about the team within a team of the athletic stage since last year.
Yeah.
So what do you think, not to diminish what the other players have done, the newcomers, what do you think it means for them coming in to be back in the NCAA and competing again, albeit at a lower seed, but still in the tournament?
I think it means everything. I think you guys, everybody saw that the other day, or this past weekend, the way this team competed and just took it up a notch, and how hard they played and how bad they wanted it, and how much it meant once they did win. I think, their actions demonstrated that. I think when you choose to stay, you're hopeful of that. And then the journey, once the reality of how hard this journey was going to be hit, then you kind of probably doubted. I'm sure they did. They each doubted whether it was possible, maybe whether it was worth it at times, if we're being honest. And then they just stuck with it, and everybody rose. And, then down the stretch, those core, the way Sue's been playing, nobody's seen Sue. But one of those five, that gets the least notoriety, redshirt a year ago, Sue has elevated her game so much in practice. She's a completely different player. And that's been inspiring for the other four. So just seeing these five all step it up into new roles, take it up a notch, has been inspiring for everyone and demonstrates, I think, how much it means. So I just couldn't be happier or more proud of them.
How special is this stage being
Oh my goodness, when I'm telling you, my mind is literally blown away. I honestly, I'm still jittery, still shaking just for us, seeing us on the screen. It was definitely incredible. But for me, it's just an entirely different thing, because I never expected myself to be able to play in March Madness. So for me, going from JUCO to a D1 school and then having to find somewhere to come back home and having it be Oregon State, it was just a dream come true. It was totally amazing.
What's this season like? The adjustment period, getting used to more balance, an upper, conference tier level, the WCC.
The caliber of play has definitely been a lot higher than what I've been used to. So I definitely had to have support from my teammates, the staff, just to be able to prove to myself a little bit more that it's possible and that I can do it. But just having that support and having other people believe in me made it so much easier for me to actually show out and step up for when we needed to.
I don't know if you got to watch last year's Oregon State's run at all, but they obviously faced a 14 seed in Eastern Washington that gave the Bees a little bit of trouble. What's the mentality of this squad in the March Madness tournament, knowing that you're a 14 seed? A lot of teams are going to count you guys out. What do you guys kind of say to this conversation?
The phrase that we say every time is, why not us? And honestly, everything is possible. We're in March Madness. They call it March Madness for a reason. So anything can happen, and I believe that anything is possible. So don't count us out. Why not us?
Do you recall the first time the words NCAA tournament were mentioned in the walls of your locker room, that you guys actually talked about it and thought?
For us, we definitely focus on one game at a time, a moment at a time. So we'll figure that out when we got there. But once it was there, we're like, you guys, if we made it there, we made it past the tournament and stuff. So what else can we do?
Yeah, but you're human, and and that's a big goal.
Right.
Did it ever come up at all that this was something real that you could get to?
It definitely was a possibility. Like, we definitely did talk about it. Like, could you guys just imagine, like, us making it to the tournament? And honestly, I definitely believe that we all had a feeling that we were going to make it. But the fact that it actually hit reality and that everybody knows we're going to the tournament and we have the trophy and all that stuff to prove it, it just means so much more.
A lot of these teams that make it, especially that have the higher rank, they don't go through the adversity that you guys had to go through at the beginning of the season. Really 5-star. You guys faced a lot of tough programs. How do you feel like that those struggles you guys had to go through, the bumps in the road, have kind of helped you up to this point, and are going to help you now where it's just one game every day and you go home?
There's a phrase that I actually heard of the other day. It said something along the lines of you have to do something that you've never done to get something that you never had. And I definitely believe that us facing all the adversity and all the stuff earlier in the season definitely helped us to water the seeds that we planted early on. And now that the flowers and stuff are blooming, it's definitely showed us that anything is possible and that we are more than capable of reaching it.
I know you guys would have taken probably any opponent in the March Madness tournament, but what are your thoughts facing North Carolina at number 3 seed in this tournament, the bracket you guys are in?
I'm ecstatic. I'm ecstatic just to be here, just to play in March Madness, and honestly, it just gives me another reason to fight harder because now it's go big or go home, so we have to give everything that we have.
Just gotta ask, we're in the same region as Bolden. I know you're a Eugene native. Any thoughts on that?
Oh, I'm excited, and I definitely think that we'll play them, so I'm super excited to have that Oregon rivalry. Just because my whole family, they were all Duck fans and all that stuff, and I was the one that stepped away from that and became a Beaver. So I'm definitely excited to, play them.
Has this been everything you kind of imagined in your first 2 years coming to Corvallis, and just what is this moment for you just to be dancing back around the next tournament?
Yeah, I mean, before I came here, I didn't expect to do it. My freshman year, now my sophomore year. So I'm so grateful and so thankful. And I'm just so excited to continue to go battle with this team. I think we're so special, and it couldn't be a better gift. And so, yeah, super grateful, and I'm so excited.
Last year, even though you guys were a 3 seed, it still felt like there were so many people doubting that program, that squad. You guys felt like kind of chip on your shoulder. How big is the chip on this team's shoulder, considering what you guys have had to overcome, the adversity, and now get to this point as a 14th seed?
Yeah, I think, we all just always believed. We might have had a little chip on our shoulder, but we just stayed so tight and so together, and that's what got us so far. So just staying together. If nobody else believed, we believed, and that's really all that matters.
Do you take anything from last year's, March Madness tournament run? What did you learn from that first experience, and how do you feel like you've grown from that time heading into this time?
Yeah, I think playing in March is just a huge deal. So just learning, the poise it takes, and just the discipline and the execution it takes, and just all the little things it takes to get these wins. So I hope that I can take my experience that I learned and help the new girls that haven't got to dance yet. And it's a big deal, but at the end of the day, it's just another game we got to play. And so that's what we've been in all year long. So just another game, and it happens to be in North Carolina. So we're going to be excited, and we'll be ready.
Just curious, what was the biggest challenge for you last year, especially when you guys started to hit on the road, Albany, Rueck? What was your biggest challenge, and how did you overcome that?
Yeah, I think it's just a big deal to be playing on that stage. So just believing in myself, just being confident, not getting too rattled out there, and just being poised. And I think just leaning on each other. We're all feeling the same thing, just a little nervous at times. So just leaning on each other and leaning on the fact that we work so hard and we are prepared. So that's what I would say. Yeah.
Is there any real consideration for the other teams in your region, those opponents, or is it kind of like you said, just the fact that you got here, that you're here in just another game?
Sorry, say that again?
So is there any consideration for, other than North Carolina, anybody else in the bracket, or just one game at a time?
Yeah, I think we just go one game at a time. Just focus on North Carolina, and then it's March. Whatever happens after that, then we'll get ready for that next game.
You just curious. You won a tournament championship. Did you happen to keep an eye on the one last night?
Last night.
Barlow.
Oh yes, Barlow. Yes, I did keep an eye on the Barlow.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't you follow that at all?
Yeah, no, I was super excited for my high school team or the boys team to get it done.
Tom Johnson.
Yeah, TJ, I'm so happy for TJ. I mean, he's been with Barlow for 39 years, I think, so it's just a super big accomplishment for him, and I'm just couldn't be more proud to be a Bruin. I wish I could have been there last night, but I know the Barlow community was super happy for TJ, and so was I.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.